Hello and welcome to another NUFC Fans Forum. I am Adam and I am joined as ever by Gan Raj and Nick Cowies here. We've got many things to get through, so we'll make a swift start. First of all, lads, 6-0. That was fun. We've not done one since then.
Have we not?
No, we won 6-0.
Oh, no, it was before that, huh?
Which gives us the chance to talk about Mo Diarmé being good for the first time since we bought him.
Well, 2 good shots, but he also did the worst miss since Papi Cissé, was it?
I have seen that, yes.
I didn't see the game, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well, allow us to talk you through it, Ross. Mo Diarmé scored 2 pearlers.
I saw those.
Categorical pearlers, but then also somehow missed an open goal on his strong foot from 8 yards.
Conspired to miss it. I've no idea how he did it.
He didn't seem to understand because he hit it and then he looked around for the ball and thought, oh, that mustn't have really happened. I mustn't have actually had that chance.
I think he's one of them players like Papi Cissé who, if he doesn't think, he can score, like those goals he scored against Chelsea was just like swing, instinct, scored. Whereas if he had time to do anything, he'd score goals like he did in China.
That second one Diarmé got, he thought about that one long and hard. He carried the ball for 20 yards
and then
thought, but he didn't have to. He wasn't like faced with a choice between doing things. All he could do there was
he had runners either side of him. Ross hasn't even seen the game, and he knows.
Flicked it in the far corner. Bloody lovely.
Oh, Simon.
I don't think he's.
I agree with your point, though. I do think he relies on instinct a lot more. I think goals where he's got a chance to think will be few and far between.
Yes.
Well, goals have been few and far between in general, but I think will be. Ones where he doesn't have time to really consider how he's going to mess it up.
I think his general play as a number 10 still isn't good enough either.
I think we need to buy somebody in January, I think.
Well, funny enough, I listened to the is it still the Three Legends podcast? No, who's it? It's got John Anderson, Marco Gabbiadini, the one of BBC Newcastle, whatever it was.
Oh, it's not the Three Legends. Three Legends went elsewhere.
No one. So this lad rings up and he says, I don't think we're strong enough in the number 10, the attacking midfield position. And John Anderson was howling with laughter. He's like, how many goals were scored? As if that just somehow justifies having a area of the pitch.
Well, any mistake we have is justified by, well, we're winning, aren't we?
Look at our goal difference. That was his answer, just look at our goal difference. Yeah, but we're not getting goals from that area of the pitch.
Yeah, but our 2 number 10s aren't playing very well when they're playing number 10.
I don't think either of them are number 10s. I think that's the problem.
Perez is doing a lot better when he's coming in from the left.
Yeah, he's better out wide.
Oh, yes.
I disagree with that.
Oh, yes.
I think he gets lost out there.
He gets far more lost in the middle.
I think he's good right up top in the middle, but I agree with Ross. As a number 10, he disappears completely.
Is Perez our third choice striker? Would you...
Centre forward,
Yes, yeah.
You
got nobody else?
And?
Well, Daryl Murphy.
Oh, yeah, of course. Soz. Dad.
Who?
Get on Daryl Murphy in a moment, but Mitrovic's emergence, shall we say?
Yes.
What's he got, like 7 goals in 3 games, club and country? Something ridiculous like that?
We'll need to calm down a bit, I think. Just
about Mitrovic.
Settle down.
No,
the Metro can stay as the Metro until he scores 300 goals.
It is a bit silly, but equally, a lot of people immediately wrote him off and said Shola was better than him, and I won't accept that either. He's not like better than Shearer, but he's better than Shola.
4 goals against Preston hasn't changed my opinion of that, because he still does have Shola moments where he does airshot the ball and do stupid things like Shola did.
That's true.
I meant to look this up. I meant to look this up before we started, and I haven't, so I might be wrong. But even if I'm wrong, I'm not massively wrong.
Who cares about being wrong?
Mitrovic is still younger than Perez.
22, isn't he?
22.
Yeah, like... We seem to think we've bought this £40 million, he's got 30 goals in the Dutch league. One of them that comes over with a big reputation, doesn't really do a lot. I know we've got him from Belgium, was my point. But he's 22.
Yes.
And the raw potential he still scored goals in what was an absolutely minging team last year. Cisse couldn't score goals in that.
Should have scored a lot of Shola misses than that.
He
Villa being one of the main ones.
That was bad.
He needed a better conversion rate last season.
Yeah.
But a lot was heaped on him. When he played, and I think it's because he turned up when he was Raj, and there's an element in Newcastle fans who are just like, I love a Raj player. It doesn't matter. I am that
element.
Yeah. Janmat was the same. Kick one person, everybody loves him, and then the truth comes out. But if somebody arrives like that, and then sort of doesn't immediately score hat tricks in every game, then the pressure on them is a little bit tough. And I think expectations were a bit too much on him last season. I don't think he was
irresponsible of the club, that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should have had someone else in there.
There should have been somebody else. I think that the banked too much on Papi Cissé being a better player than he was last season, because he was.
In all fairness, he did score 12 goals the season before last, which kept up.
Yeah, but
people forget that about Papi.
He was still pretty poor that season, and he was no more than half the player last
He was the
season.
only man that could put the ball in the back of net for, though.
He was in and out fitness-wise as well, to be fair. Like, you only ever got to run 2 or 3 games, I think.
You were still Stop
He was
justifying it.
Stop swearing, because it makes the edit twice as long as it has to be. If you want to listen about us talk about Papi Cissé, go back to the first ever NUFC fans forum.
Yeah.
Me and Adam talk about him for half an hour. It's wonderful.
It is. Here we are.
That's why he's just won the World Cup, isn't it? He's great.
Has he? What?
Exactly.
I don't understand your humour.
Let us move on.
James Perch is mint as well.
He is. 6.5 every week.
That's not good.
Moving on. When Gale's back in,
Yes.
is he back in for Cardiff? Is he?
He's back this weekend. He's available.
What would you do then? Because obviously Gale is as close to Rafa's first choice as Rafa's ever going to have a first choice. It appears to be the one he prefers. But when you've got a striker in such good form, is it not detrimental to the team spirit as a whole to keep him in?
It isn't just that he's in such good form, it's who he is. Like, if you watch him on the pitch, his demeanour, if something goes, like that whole penalty thing with Matt Ritchie, he's the most emotional player we've had for a long time. And I think if he scores 4 goals when he's been told, go and score goals and you'll get in the team, and then he gets dropped, his head will just go straight down. He'll be like John Joe Shelby.
I think it's what you've got to do with a if you're doing such an active rotation policy and you want players to believe that they'll get their chance and they can make a claim for it, you can't then take somebody out when they come in and do well.
No, that's true. But Gale has done well.
But
he hasn't scored as many goals in a shorter time. But if you drop him, then that's harsh on him.
Horses for courses. Rafa's a good man manager.
Right.
He'll deal with it.
Exactly. I think he man manages Mitrovic a little bit too much.
How do you know that?
Well, you look at the way that he deals with them. I don't mean in the training or in the dressing room or anything like that. But like, there always seems to be an assistant on the touchline telling Mitrovic exactly what to do. And when there's a break in play, Rafa's always trying to get a message to him. With Gale, he doesn't really do that.
I trust him.
It's because I know exactly that's the thing. He trusts Gale. I think Mitrovic is very green, very young, and very raj, and I think he needs Rafa to like manage him more. And
You've just said he does it too much, though.
I know, but I still think he does. Like
You're having a shot.
shut up, man. In terms of Rafa concentrating on the game, it's not a good thing that he has to concentrate on one person more than anybody else.
So you mean too much in terms of the team as a whole, not too much for him?
To be fair, it's a bit of a shock because he spent the second half of last season solely talking to Paul Dummett. I watched that every single game when I was in the press box.
Now he trusts Paul Dummett by the looks of things.
I hope not.
Hey, Paul Dummett's been really good the last 2 or 3 games.
No, really good.
He's got himself,
doesn't mean what you think it means.
He's got himself back in the Wales. He's got himself back in the Wales squad. And Ben Davies got injured last night for Tottenham, so he'll be starting with Gareth Bale next week.
Jesus Christ.
I might buy tickets for that Wales game and your travel and your hotel just on the off chance you get captured on Sky Sports sitting there watching Paul Dummett play with Gareth Bale.
No. I'm not getting sucked into this again because I get so much grief for my opinion on Paul Dummett. But it hasn't changed at all.
I think he's a tidy player.
Let's not make this about Paul Dummett again. I do.
No.
Yeah.
Right,
so
bottom lines, lads.
I think you play Gale.
You think you play Gale? Who would you play?
I haven't been watching Cardiff, to be honest, so I don't know what horse you need for this particular course. Really. So whichever
I wouldn't
horse
play horse up front. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Do you think Cardiff could spring a surprise? Are we starting to...
It's the Neil Warnock factor in it.
Jesus Christ.
They've won. I think they've got... Is it 7 points out there? 4 games?
They have
under
Warnock's
good run.
Aye.
Talking about a revolution in that.
We were listening to the Preston game, and that sounded to me like the first time where we've taken either our foot off the pedal or off their throat.
The second Preston game.
Once we got
our
that,
foot off
feet,
the pedal.
our feet. Once we got that second goal, we just really retreated into ourselves, and we're, from the sounds of it, very, very fortunate to get out with a win.
Yeah, well, hit the post in the 90.
Should they've had a penalty as
Preston,
well? Yeah?
A Preston fan tweeted me going, "Oh, you spent 80 million, but you cannot beat us properly."
Except for the
6-0 3 days prior. That brings me on to my next point, as I'm repeatedly told that we're not top of the Championship, we're just top of the Parachute Payments League. Now, why is everybody so, what's the term, butthurt? So
exactly
salty. Why are all these teams just so annoyed that we've had the audacity to come down and not be Sorry, Ross.
Twice as long.
Well, I don't know. Like, it's that number that looks like we should be top of the league if you say, oh, they spent 80 million. But that's like only half the picture, obviously. And if you look at our squad last season, there was a lot of people in there who were absolute pony.
And we've somehow got
Thank you.
loads of money for them.
Exactly, yeah. So I think we should be commended for what we've done.
We have. I mean, I don't want to sound like that Arsenal fan who's always on the vine talking about net spend, bruv. But net spend, we've not actually spent anything.
No,
we've stayed within our means. We've
30 million.
We've not
in
thrown.
means, aren't we?
We've not thrown money around or anything like that. Yeah, we're within our means before we sold to Sogo.
and Aston Villa have spent loads of money. Leeds traditionally spent a lot of money. I know they don't now.
Not anymore. Not for a long time.
No, but I just think it's daft. It's just everybody wants an emotional focal point to like criticise anybody who's doing well in that league. The reality of that league, as I keep saying, is it's absolute dog dirt.
Thank you.
Like,
It's flipping
it's a load of
rubbish.
fluff and cack, is what it is. It's partly why Neil Warnock's come in and got so many points for Cardiff. As if you have a manager who's even remotely capable, and I'm not saying he is capable.
No,
I'll say remotely
I think
capable.
it's dreadful.
You'll score points because all you have to do is set up your team right. Doesn't matter who's in
Yeah.
your team. And then the fact that we've sort of bought players who can go beyond that. We don't just set out to out system the other team. We'll have people like Matt Ritchie who cost a lot of money because he can break down teams.
Who's
Gale,
flipping magic.
Same, exactly. He is. He wears a magic hat. And it is butt hurtness. Like they can't go out and spend 12 million on a player who doesn't even play every
Well,
week.
you see, that's
I
the
think
thing.
the problem
That's the
is
thing,
that
though.
it's
If you
it's
look
like
at Matt Ritchie, how much was Dwight Gale? 12, 11, something like that.
10.
You put them to
somewhere
one
around
side.
12,
The
yeah.
vast majority of transfers we made were around the 5 million mark.
Yeah.
Went and bought Keane Clark, Grant Hanley, both about 4 or 5 million apiece. I mean, I'm not privy to the actual inner workings of the transfer policies of the other 23 clubs in the league, but all of them could have afforded that. But
Exactly.
but they couldn't. They can't go and buy the best player in the league
Yeah.
because there's not the draw.
It
for
must
that.
it must be awful
Well,
to
that's
look at
just
our
football,
team.
isn't it? Live
It
with
is.
it. Get
can.
better.
It must
What
be
we're meant to do.
awful to look at Newcastle and be like Cardiff or like, let's say Preston, because they're the ones who are the bitter ones at the minute, and think, my God, we can't attract Grant Hanley. Like that must hurt so much.
We can afford him,
Exactly,
but we
he
can't
won't sign
attract
for
him.
us. And then he comes to Newcastle and he's not playing. Like,
Daryl Murphy's the best example. He was Ipswich Town's only good player last season, according to Ipswich fans.
exactly, and that showed it.
And he's not even got off the bench for us in the league.
Yeah.
And he's happy to do that. You know what I mean? He's not kicked up. I've not read a single thing yet where Darren was like, oh, well, you know, I was obviously hoping to get in the team. He's just like, let's have class. Watch
Yeah.
football every week.
Exactly.
Great. Play with Rafa Benitez.
God forbid we spend some money to try and get out of the league. We've just been relegated.
And like,
God
I just
forbid.
don't.
God forbid we try and
God.
get out of a league that
We're
will
awful,
cost
aren't
us so much more than the money we spent on transfers
Yeah.
if we stay here. It's idiotic.
God, we've broken all the rules there, haven't we? We're terrible.
So the approach to, I mean, the away fan thing's ridiculous as well because, like, what have we been given? About 8 seats for Leeds, about 12 for Hull.
Yeah.
I think it's 2,000. Is it 2,600 for Leeds and then a bit less for Hull?
Yeah.
Something
2-4 for Hull.
Which we should easily be getting 5 for a cup game away.
Exactly. I can
quarterfinals.
sort of understand the Leeds one because they can sell out the home fans with
They
us
are.
there.
They are going. They are. To be fair, at Leeds, they are looking like they're going to sell.
There is a
them.
lot of Newcastle fans I've seen tweeting.
Aye,
that.
in the
home end.
Aye, I know quite a few.
Is that illegal?
Don't fight, lads.
No.
Go to now. I would be
not
probably
illegal.
sitting in the home end in Leeds.
Yeah. But the Hull one's like a proper
don't
kick in the
understand
teeth.
it.
I think
Yeah.
it's because they don't want to. I don't know. Like maybe they think that we're the 12th man.
Maybe.
I hate that.
It can't be a money. I mean, if you're Premier League side, whatever little money you get coming in from an extra 500, 600 away
that's
fans
true.
is a drop in the ocean. They
But
don't
it
need
could have
to
been.
do it.
It could have been another
Could've
3 to
been
4,
doubled.
5,000, and they could have like charged 35 quid, and we still would have bought the tickets.
We are daft like that.
I mean, do you think Hull fans are going to be up for a quarter final of the EFL Cup against the Championship team
When they're
struggling
doing
in the
their
Premier
best
League?
to get relegated. Aye.
Oh, wait, when you put it like that.
Could we not just in future
Maybe that's all
apply
about-
to have these games at home? Once the draw's made, can we not just put it? Look, you don't have to host it. You don't have to get the pie people in or anything like that. We'll just have it. You can send a couple of hundred up.
I think Newcastle will beam it back. I think they should look into
I
it
hope
if they're
so.
going to do that. If they did it for the other game,
Apparently
But
that was
they
good.
need to put it on a big screen in the stadium, not in.
Oh, like the good old days.
Yeah,
Like when,
An
they put
old
the, like,
Odeon.
when they put the derby on in the arena.
yeah. Because they'll be like,
When the hell did this happen?
Oh,
This is
I was
years
about
and
9
years
to be
ago.
fair.
there's about 10,000 people who would want to watch it in.
It was
Number 9 Shearers,
it was the derby where there was no away fans allowed. So Newcastle booked the arena out and put it on a screen in the arena.
Fair play.
It's not going to be on telly, is it? It would have been.
Hull, I don't know.
Would have been organised by now. Sure.
Leeds is on telly.
Aye, maybe that's why. That's all right. Just go to the pub and watch it. Smash a big market.
I think it was Threat Level who did this on Twitter. Somebody, I think a Preston fan, did a tweet. Parachute payment 6, Championship 0, and then the next week, he said, well, look at Brighton versus Norwich, parachute payments 0, Championship 5. Look closer to home for your problems, not us.
But you can't look. I was just going to say Norwich were
relegated with us, mate. Yeah, last season.
And they also profited from parachute payments in the couple
Are you
years
okay?
ago. That's what you meant.
Are you okay, mate?
I've had a tough day.
But
Brighton have spent money. People ignore that comparatively compared to the rest of the league. They went and bought Anthony Knockout, who cost them money.
Well,
It was
after him.
absolutely class.
In the summer, aye, but he stayed, didn't he? Stayed put.
And that narrative has now changed to, he changed you down. Don't remember that.
Why, he was anonymous when he came to St James's Park, wasn't he?
Yeah,
in the Brighton game. So, whose loss is it really?
And we've got we've got the second coming of Lamano Lualua instead. So
We have.
yes, Christy Natsu.
Oh, I thought you meant because Brighton have got Kazenga, so
Oh no,
that's quite a...
well, sorry, the third coming.
You've muddled your metaphor
I have,
there
yeah.
slightly.
You have.
Christian... No, I have muddled your metaphor.
Christy Natsu plays like Lualua.
Is that true?
I liked Lamano Lualua
So did I.
because he was entertaining and
He did the flips
Yeah,
as well.
I was young enough that the flips just
he
impressed
could
me
skin
outright.
8 people and then kick it into Gateshead. It's class, that man. That's,
It is entertaining.
that's a metaphor for Newcastle. That.
He's an arsehole, though, isn't he?
Hey, what
Having the audacity to score against with a Portsmouth.
Yes. Aye.
Arsehole.
But was that wasn't long before he injured himself doing his flips? So it was karma when Harry had said, "Don't do it."
Don't do it. You got to listen to Harry Redknapp, otherwise bad things will happen.
Pissed off with Superb for loaning them out, so he scored against them. Cost for the Champions League.
You're right, mate.
No. It might be 14 years or whatever, but I've still not forgotten.
How long before we're back in it? Come on, let's wildly speculate. 14 years?
Well, this will be
Season after
deluded.
next.
You right?
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Let's Algan.
I'm gonna say
Flip
I'm
him
gonna
then.
be the pessimist for once.
The 18-19 campaign will be there.
Yeah.
We'll have 4th place trophy. Arsenal.
0-0 Ludogorets away. Can't wait, mate.
Did you see that goal?
Yes, I did.
The Ozil one. Oh, it was lovely, wasn't it?
Cleary-esque, I dare say.
But they're we might as well be part-timers, so it doesn't really count.
You know how after Halloween you can officially start
Getting excited for Christmas?
Yeah. Well, do you know what happens just after Christmas? The January transfer window opens up, so
yes.
can we start
Yes.
wildly speculating about who we might get or what positions we need?
I think we'll do what we did last time. We'll go and buy the best assister
I
in the league.
I
That's
only
why
think we
got
need
Routledge.
2 players just to see we're through, which are a proper number 10
Yeah, I agree.
and a second John Joe Shelby just in case he gets injured.
Aye, I would.
That's
like
all
that.
we need.
Another
Where do you
creative
find-
midfielder,
Aye.
a ball player.
A cam and a playmaker coming from deep.
I still
Football
think that
manager.
that Jack Colback is too limited to play a lot. He's all right. I mean, that shot that he took to the face, that facial he took at Preston was awful.
Do you know why he took that though, Simon?
Because Raj.
Because he knows what it means.
Exactly.
Etc. Etc. You don't do that voice anymore.
Passion!
There we are.
There we go.
I feel better for that.
He has got passion. But I agree. Them two. I mean, I'd love a left back, but I'd love 6 left backs.
God's
So
sake.
that Paul Dummett was 8th choice.
What about Lazar? When's he coming in?
Maybe he'll be fine. I don't know. Who knows?
He's had a
I'd quite like
weirdly not getting
Jesus
in
to
the
play
team.
because that guy who stands outside the stadium and tells me all about how God loves me and I shouldn't support Newcastle. I want to make jokes at him about Jesus playing.
Well, Jesus was man of the match today, mate. Pow!
Exactly. And he's got a spelling mistake on his board.
What is it?
It says trust on Jesus Christ.
That's all right.
It's supposed to say trust in Jesus Christ.
I'm sure that's probably correct. We just don't realise.
Are you a man of the cloth?
No, not at all.
So how would you know?
That Jesus loves me.
No, it's
I don't
on instead
care.
of in.
Yeah.
Oh. Because it's semantics. It's grammar.
Ah, the Bible.
But the
Bible's
the
really
Bible was
old.
written a long time ago. What is things
It's
have
not
changed?
a Bible quote.
How
It's
do you
his
know?
placard.
How do you know?
I'm going to have a fight with both of you in a minute.
See?
He's a pain in the arse. Like, he'll like aggressively, like, manhandle people and touch people.
Does he lay palms on you, Simon?
No, lay psalms.
Is he just trying to absolve?
Getting flashbacks, are you?
It's all, yeah. That's why I'm not a man of the cloth
Any
anymore.
specific players you'd like to buy? What was that? Was it Alan Judge? We apparently bought and then just never heard anything more about.
Well, I'm not keen on him,
Alan
because he's lost a leg, hasn't he? He's 27, so he might be gone.
He's lost a leg.
Wait, he was injured for a long time with a leg.
3 years.
He's still out now, isn't he?
Yeah.
We were trying to
He's not
buy him
supposed to
4
come back
months
until
ago.
November.
I'm sure I read that we had bought him, and then I just checked with squad list at the start of the season, wasn't there?
It was one of them in the nah things, right?
I don't know. I definitely read that we'd actually bought him.
We didn't. Did you read The Sun?
I don't know. No.
Don't buy the Sun. That was a Scouser.
Was it?
It was quite good,
I
that.
thought it was something else.
By way of Jamaica, by any chance, was it?
John Barnes.
Oh, see, I was reaching for that and I couldn't find it. Anyway, not
He
Alan
was
Judge.
Barbados, wasn't he?
I tell you what, though, if I had to pick anyone from the Championship, I would buy Knockout, even though I've slated him before in this.
He was crap against us, but he's been good.
Yeah.
And also, he probably has the potential to play in the Premier League.
Watching the highlights last weekend, he was majestic against Norwich. You see, I think it was the first goal he set up where he went to the byline and then cut back in.
I tend not to watch the highlights because I can't stand that Channel 5 programme that they
It's
broadcast on.
it's
George.
awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's worse
George.
than when ITV had
George is terrible, isn't he?
Match of the Day. Whatever it was
So
called.
that's why you start half an hour to 35 minutes late, and you can fast forward through all the bits. Edit's going to be twice as long.
We stopped swearing!
Sure,
I'd also quite like... I love him, Wes Houlihan, but I don't think he'll ever come to us.
Why?
I think he's a myth,
I
mate.
don't know.
He's a myth.
He was class in the
He
Premier
doesn't
League last
exist.
season.
Everybody says, "Oh, where's Houlihan's class?" But he last season,
He was class in this.
when they've been in the Premier
last
League, Norwich, he barely gets a game, or you barely
I know.
see him doing anything.
Yeah, he
season.
doesn't get played.
Him and Gary Brady, sort of.
Or Robbie Brady's brother.
No, Gary from Tottenham in the 90s.
I like Houlihan. He was good in the Euros.
He was.
Wait for that one moment where was against Italy. Where
Right. That's as much as Sissoko did, and he got a 30 million chance first.
Exactly.
Did you see him last night?
Oh yes, a big shout out to our boy Musa. Enjoy watching you finally realise your Champions League dream last night.
Who did that tweet?
That was me.
Strong
Okay.
tweet.
Strong tweet.
Check it out.
It was good.
At
Stole us
NUFC
from
fans.
the mates. So what's next? Cardiff.
Done the Cardiff. We'll win that.
Ball playing centre midfielder. Who would you
should.
have? I'm just going to get back on that transfers
Where's-
thing for a second.
Xavi Alonso.
You playing that deep? Well, right. I'm going to start it.
I know.
Try to do it in the
Why
summer.
not?
This
Try-
wasn't.
no,
this
not
wa-
him. Not him. Steven Gerrard's coming back to England.
Oh God.
No, I don't. I thought.
Steven Gerrard and Rafa didn't get on with each other. I thought that was a big thing.
No, he just played him on the right wing, didn't he?
Well, when then we're screwed.
Look, I don't.
He's not going to play him for us. Is he in the right place?
I don't think Steven Gerrard's a very good footballer. We'll get onto that at some point.
What?
You can't say
You can't
that.
come up with things
I think
like
he's
that.
incredibly limited,
Aye, Messi's crap as well. Isn't he? Overrated.
but I'd have him at this level.
I'm sure.
No,
his
Steven
agent's
Gerrard's
ears have just pricked up there.
Steven Gerrard's career is just descending into farce. The slip, the World Cup, things have happened since then. It's just stay clear.
Phil Collins, allegedly.
What he did to Phil Collins?
Well, that DJ wouldn't put the Phil Collins song on, so we battered him.
Fair play.
Allegedly.
Justified, isn't it?
Justified.
What? Xavi Alonso on loan. Why not?
I had a flip knot.
Why the
Where
flip
Why
is
the
not?
flip not? I don't know.
Bayern.
Still a buy-in.
Has he?
Well, you could get Javi along. I'm amazed we haven't got more
I
former
don't
Liverpool
think-
players like.
He is feeding into this myth of stupid Geordies. Why would he?
Because he loves Rafa.
It's a huge club. 52,000.
1,000. He's just going
I don't know what that was.
I have to say, if you're doing that, you have to say 56. Because I think it's hilarious to just go slightly over.
Oh,
When
I've got another thing we can talk about.
Oh,
Did you
that's
see
good.
Pardew's press conference last week?
Oh, where he
Where he said-
blamed it on Graham Carr for not
Aye.
being allowed to buy Adam Lallana.
Well, he wanted to bring when he joined
Seen it.
Newcastle, he wanted to bring Adam Lallana with him, but Graham Carr said Lallana wasn't good enough. Discuss.
Well, when he joined Newcastle, Alan Lallana was still playing in League One and probably wasn't good enough and probably was too lightweight.
No, that's true.
And
I
also,
also don't think he started all that well at Liverpool.
yeah,
But
he's played in a really good team with an absolutely
If
wicked
Alan
manager.
Pardew said anything about any player, they should have just went, nah, not listening to you.
No.
This is the man with a fetish for James Tompkins for over 6 years.
Exactly.
And Andy Carroll.
Tried to sign him. I quite like Andy
What
Carroll
bloody
stuff.
hell, Andy Carroll. See that yesterday?
Guns.
Oh, the guns in the motorbike.
Not
What,
for
you
the
laughing?
first time, allegedly.
Allegedly.
What does that mean?
Well, he doesn't play the game, does he? Where people are like, get some money for protection. He scans. Do you know who I am? I'm from Teams. Maybe he's cut that.
We shouldn't be laughing.
I shouldn't be laughing. Never
No, it's
died.
true.
The lad could have got murdered in the
Anyway,
face.
back on Pardew.
I would have Andy Carroll on loan. Imagine Andy Carroll and Mitrovic.
We've got Metro. I'm not going to name the Metro. Metro. You can't name the Metro. Andy.
Hey, but the Metro's not that good.
We've got the Metro Centre.
The expectations versus reality of the Metro are probably the same. As
Comparable
the
expectations to reality of Mitrovic. That's fair. Arriving late. No, I've lost. I've run out of analogies already.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
Does he get injured a lot? Always broken down?
I'd say Carroll.
Yeah.
He breaks down mentally.
He's just class.
Do you think you should have taken that penalty? People booed around me.
That's bollocks. That.
Below me, anyway.
Richie was a penalty take.
I know.
So
And then he lashed it in perfectly. I don't care if Mitrovic could have done it. I like that he just put it up his shirt and Mitrovic was like, "Where's the ball?" It's like a dog where you pretend to throw the ball. It just goes.
Alexander Mitrovic hasn't got object permanence. Once he can't see an object, it no longer exists to him. Just a bit of dog science for you there. Thank you very much for joining us for another NUFC Fans Forum. We might be back Monday, just a date I've picked out off the top of my head. I have been Adam. I've been joined by Simon and Ross as ever. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.